Hello folks, I hope you're all doing well. You might be wondering what we're doing here again in the car, because we're on Rabbit Patrol. It's Sunday morning, it's 7:35, and let me turn you around. This is the road up to the allotment, and I don't know if you can see them there, and it's a little private road just at the back of the garden centre. So I'm just going to clip the camera on there, and let's just look at them go, look at them running away. You can see them, they're all going to run into these bushes, and apologies if it's wobbly down here. This road at the back of the garden centre it's a bit like the surface of the moon. And I've got to drive left and right, and we've got a kamikaze pigeon in front of us and another rabbit running in the bushes over there. But the important bit is just as we get to the end of here, let's just come to the end of this road, and you might be able to see the start of a little gap over here, and this little gap is what takes you down to where I park the car for the allotment. Now last weekend we fixed the holes in the fence, but they've been around trimming the grass again, so I'm a little bit worried. So we're going to creep down here very slowly and see if there's any rabbits down in this bit, or if they've all scarpered up the top there, because there's one just ran in the bushes, but it was all the way, see that sort of grey coloured shed down there, it was beyond there. Now this bit of grass here is normally where I see them around my bit, and I'm pleased to say there isn't any here. That's a good sign. No, there's one, look at it, look, can you see it? Sorry for zooming the camera over there, it's just over there on that track, right. Anyway, that's enough of rabbit cam. So this is what I have to try and protect the plot against, this onslaught of rabbits all the time. Anyway, right, let me park the car, let me get sorted, back with you in just a jiffy. So whilst we're here with me and my chums the rabbit, I might as well have a walk into the plot with you. Let me just spin the camera around and we'll walk up the little track here, and this is my plot here, and let's see, all right, let's see if there's any rabbits hiding in the plot. Let me have a look around and see. Now last week, you remember they were in about the raspberries and that, and they just absolutely legged it out of there, and I chased them around the plot. I've still not fixed that that arch, by the way. I think it's done for. I'll show you that in a bit. Look at the difference since I fixed the hole in the fence, or the two holes in the fence where they've been coming in. These radishes had been done. They've been completely chewed, and look at that, just in a week, all of the new growth. I mean, some of them don't quite look as good as the others, but lots and lots and lots of new growth. So I wonder, and I'm wondering, let me show you, let me come down the end here, right, here we go. You can see my rabbit defences there up against the fence. We've had like no courgettes at all this year, and this is where the courgettes are. This is where the rabbits come in. Courgettes, rabbits. Do we think it's a coincidence maybe? Now that the rabbit's hole's been blocked up, we've got a courgette growing. Maybe they've been getting in longer than I thought, and they've just been coming in and merrily eating away at the courgettes, perhaps, because pretty much everything else, apart from the odd thing, has got a cover on it. So they've not been able to get to everything else. And let me spin you around, you can see all the different covers, all the green nets and things like that. So I reckon the rabbits have actually been getting in for longer than I realise, and they've been munching away on the courgettes. That's the working theory anyway. That's what I'm going for. Anyway, today, what are we doing today? I've got loads more stuff to plant out. So last weekend, I think it was, when I put the video out, you'll have saw all the stuff in the greenhouse. So I've brought some of it up. This big bed over here, we're going to take out the bolt of the lettuce and things like that, and got a nice big gap at the end here. And that's got a big bit of enviromesh to go over the top, so if the rabbits do come in, we've got a bit of protection there to put over the tops. There's stuff to go out there, a bit of tidy. I've got a bit of a plan, all right? Let's just go into the polytunnel here. Let me open the door, and hopefully we've got no toppled tomato plants this time. And thankfully we haven't. Let me just turn you around and we'll come in there. All right, this cucumber behemoth plant here that's taken up all this room, and it's given quite a lot of cucumbers, but they've been rubbish. They've not been great, the cucumbers I've had from it. They've all been bitter, and I know there's things you can do to fix them and stuff like that, and it's taken up all the space. And to be honest, I've got another cucumber plant here, another cucumber plant here, And the king of cucumber plants back here, the common F1, that are giving me more cucumbers than anybody could ever eat. So I've got a plan. So ginormo cucumber that's taking up all the space in the corner is coming out. And I've got some of those, again, if you saw last week's video, I've got some dwarf French beans that I'm taking a bit of a gamble with at this time of year. They're going to go in there. So I thought, well, I was going to put them outside. I thought, why not put them in the polytunnel? It'll be a bit of a pain because I've got to come up and water them still, whereas if they're outside, you know, obviously get the rain and whatnot. But it's worth a gamble, so we're going to give that a shot. So we'll give that a try. But anyway, I've got some other stuff to stick out there as well. So let me get sorted. I'm going to go and sort a few things out. I'll come back and we'll get this tidied up. Right, so time to get some plants out. And look, these are the first lot I've got here. We've got some pak choy, we've got some kale. I don't know if the kale's going to go in here. We've got some lettuce, which is a bit small. I don't think that's going to go out just yet. And I've got some mizuna. So I think we're going to put the mizuna and the pak choy in here, I think. And first of all, what I'm going to do, let's just pick a bunch of these spring onions. These have got massive roots, by the way, these spring onions. And again, these are the ishikuras that you'll be well and truly sick of hearing me talking about by now. But look at those bad boys, they're marvellous, right? So we'll get them tidied up and sorted out, and it just gives us a little bit more space. And I'm just testing just seeing what the texture of the soil's like in this bed. Again, this is a no dig bed, but we're going in here with the old hori knife just to get a feel for it. And any little weeds I'm spotting is just getting unearthed. And this bed here was the very first raised bed that I put in here at the allotment, and I'm just checking the soil, just down in the soil there, to see how wet it is lower down, because it's quite dry on the top. September around these parts, I mean, July into August has been pretty wet and pretty grim so far for us up here, and I think it has for most of the UK. September has started off really, really well. It is lovely and sunny this morning, and I tell you, there's a little bit of heat in that sun after, I think last week as well, I was saying it was getting a bit cool, and even during the week. So I think Thursday I was up and in the office pretty early, so I was out the house at the back of 6, and it was about 6 or 7 degrees, I think it was saying in the car, which is pretty cool compared to what I've been having. I think it was about the first time I'd gone out and I'd really noticed the sort of significant drop in temperature. And it's something obviously I'm a little bit concerned about, because it's probably I know the polytunnel's covered and all that, but with the tender crops in there, it's always the first thing that gets hit in terms of stuff dying and whatnot. But, you know, on the other hand, it's the perfect sort of weather for something like pak choy, because the pak choy bolts dead easy. It does when you put it out. So now, when we've still got some sunshine, but that sort of, I would say, intense heat from the summer dies off, but we've not had a lot of intense heat, and I'm just putting a bit of bloodfish and bone in there, and they're lovely little plants that the pak choy is looking like at the moment. It's not looking too bad, and I think across the way, I think I'm going to put 4. Am I going to put 4 in here? Yeah, I'll put 4 across the way. I think that's just about the right amount, and that one's looking even nicer. I'll pop that in there. And pak choy is dead easy to grow, and it's brilliant for cooking into things. Like, I generally wouldn't eat it by itself. I wouldn't like have it in a salad, you know. Some people do and that, but I'll use it for cooking into stuff, you know. Primarily stir fries is where it goes. But I mean, it's the sort of thing you can just chuck into anything. If you're cooking like a casserole or any sort of stew, you know, even if you're doing a spag bol or something like that, do a bit of fusion cooking and chuck a bit of pak choy in there. Why not? Give it some flavour, give it some green, get some vitamins and minerals and nutrients and things in there. And I've just realised I've pulled 5 out, so I'm gonna pop that one back in there. Right, I'm going to do the same with the Mizuna down here. And again, it looks a bit sad, the Mizuna. That one I've just pulled up there's dry. The Mizuna's actually a bit dry. So we'll get that planted out and we'll give this a good water and I'll show you how it's looking round here at the end. So back with you in just a jiffy. Job done, quick and as easy as that. Let's have a look. It always looks a bit sad, doesn't it? I think when you first put them in and they've been watered, they've had a good water, and especially the Mizuna. I mean, look at how sad that looks there, doesn't it? It looks really bad, but give it a week or whatever, it'll be right as rain. They'll be shooting right up and they'll be looking absolutely grand. And let's have a quick look. One other thing, sorry, I'm squinting. The sun is a rather an unusual thing to be dealing with here. It's right up there and it's shining right in my eyes. Remember I did these carrots a couple of weeks ago. These are Autumn King too. Look, they started coming up proper. So I did the old scattering technique. So I need to go in and just thin them out. And I've not done a very good job of scattering here. Have a look at this. I've obviously missed all the way along this front edge of the bed, and this back corner along the side here. There's a bit of a gap, but yeah, we'll get them thinned out, and they're looking pretty good. I'll put a cover on top of them at some point, and we'll get them sorted. Right, let's head into the polytunnel, sort out ginormal cucumber, and get some of those little dwarf French beans in there and see if it's a bit of a gamble, but let's just see if we can get something grown there. Right, back with you in just a jiffy. Right, hopefully you can see me all the way up there. I'm trying the camera somewhere new in the polytunnel. I was trying to get this bit here, so I've taken out this ginormous cucumber plant that was taking over all of this area. And I mean, we probably would have still got a few more cucumbers off it, but it was quite therapeutic, just sort of taking it out, clearing the space, ready for something new. Like I say, I've got loads of the cucumbers. I can see them, the mini bunch ones just there. I can see 2 of them ready to harvest again. So we've still got plenty of other cucumbers to go. And these little beauties are dwarf French beans, and it's a variety called Ferrari. Now we are right at the very start of September, and look, you can see the roots there, hopefully, that these plants are looking lovely. And I've just got the 2 of them here. I've got another couple still left at home in the greenhouse, and actually looking at the space here, I might bring at least another one up, because from where you are, if you can see, I'll probably get 1, 2, 3, I reckon, in here. And I mean, yeah, it is late in the year, you know, it's the start of September, and I'm planting out French beans, which maybe, you know, seems a little bit odd, but you know what? What have we got to lose? Nothing. There's nothing to lose by giving this a shot to see if we can get it working, see if we can get something growing at this time of year, when it's, like I say, last week's video was one that I called transition, because the allotment very much is in transition at the moment. I mean, behind you there, and I'll actually show you some of the peppers in a moment. Behind you there, we've got the tomatoes and whatever, and it's only a matter of time when those overnight temperatures that I mentioned before are dropping down, and I mean they're going right down into single digits. Inside the polytunnel still, you know, we're probably just about staying in double digits overnight. When it's down to sort of 7 or 8 degrees, you'll generally find that the inside grown space is a few degrees higher than what it is outside. But, you know, they're going to start dying soon, and thankfully the French beans are a little bit hardier than that. And that's it, they're in. I've sown them directly in these beds. Now, that's the first time I've done that in here, because generally everything goes in the halo pots, and then we'll pack the halo pot, the middle bit, up with compost that we've got. So these are going directly in the bed. Again, just some blood, fish and bone. I desperately need to get some chicken manure pellets from the garden centre. Loads of the beds need nutrition put on them. But while we're here, look, I've put them in. Let me show you. Look, the peppers are starting to get ripe. Look at these, right? Let me get you them. Let me get one of these. This is a beauty over here. Now these King of the North ones. Now I do talk about some varieties, so 3 things so far that I'll talk about. 1, King of the North peppers, absolutely beautiful. The Carmen F1 cucumbers and the Ishikura spring onions. They're my sort of go-tos at the minute for stuff. But let me bring you down from up high. We'll sort a few things out and we'll see how we're looking. One quick thing I wanted to show you just before we finish off, because I'm chuffed to bits with these purple cauliflowers, and let me get in there and harvest one and bring it out. Look at this, what a beauty that is. They're fab, and I've had a few of these already, and that's, you know, it's not massive, but if I leave that any longer, it's going to start to bolt and go all over the place. And I've got another one here. Let me harvest this. Can I get it without using the knife yet? It's going to come out. There it is. And again, it's not the biggest cauliflower in the world, but you know what? It's brilliant, and I love the purple colour of it as well. So I just wanted to show you that, because I'm so pleased with how they've turned out. They've turned out brilliant this year. The cauliflowers all the way along, the white ones we go earlier. These purple ones here have been fab. So I think I'm pretty much done for today. And again, I'm squinting. The sun's right behind where I've got the camera there. So you've seen the purple cauliflowers, chuffed to bits for them. I wish I could remember the variety to tell you. I'll look them up, I'll tell you in another video. We've got the French beans on the go. We've got new crops outside. I mean, it's September and we've got new stuff on the go outside. How brilliant is that? I mean, you think it's coming to the end of the season, but there's loads of stuff we can still keep growing over the winter. The peppers are getting ready to harvest. I'm a little bit worried about the chilies ripening. There's loads of chilies and they're looking all right. Some of them are just starting to turn now, just starting to ripen. So I'm a little bit worried, especially our Scotch, but no, I was going to say Scotch bonnet, but it's the California Reaper ones that we've got. I'm just a little bit worried about them ripening in time, but hopefully we'll see. We'll give them a bit of TLC, we'll tidy them up and we'll see how they're looking. But anyway, that's me done for today. Thank you very much for watching, folks, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one. Bye for now.